Hi, I'm Tim, and this is Timberway Designs. This week we got a piece of Mexican Crazy Lace Agate. Let's make a cabochon. So let's take a closer look at this Mexican Crazy Lace Agate. As you can see, it's got quite an intricate pattern going on there. And this is the most common colors I've seen are white, gray, and this salmon pinkish kind of color here. I have not seen any blues or greens. I'm not saying it don't come in blues or greens, but I have not seen it. The Mose of this is about 6 to 7, relatively hard. Should create a very nice shine. I would caution you that when you're on the 80 grit, don't press really hard because you can put some deep scratches in this stuff and you'll have a really hard time getting it out on the higher discs or the higher grits as you go up. The definition of this, and I'm going to put it on the screen, is Mexican Crazy Lace Agate, also known as Mexican agate, is a banded chalcedony that comes from Chihuahua, Mexico. It is characterized by its distinctive swirling lacy patterns. As you can see here, these are some good swirly lacy patterns here. A lot of this stuff comes from crushed stone, at least the pieces I buy, so you got to be kind of careful and for fractures and cracks and stuff, so you don't so your cab don't fall apart when you get towards the end. And then the other thing I'd caution you about is when you're laying your cab out, try to stay from these areas here, because some of these rocks have some really porous edges on them, and they don't do well when you try to cab them. Actually, they don't shine, and they tend to fall apart. But usually it's on the outer edges. Sometimes you can find internally, but these pieces are pretty solid. So I got a nice little piece here we're going to make a cab out of. Now the other thing I would caution is sometimes it can have some druzy pockets like this one right here. This one don't seem to go that deep, but actually I'm going to go around it, and we'll cut a piece out of this one right here. So I'm taking my ultra fine Sharpie. If I can get it to go, there we go. Now this is not going in a bezel, so all you gotta do is just make sure you got a nice clean come up to the line type thing. I call this shape here chubby triangles, but I think the template says tourmaline. I don't know. All right, we got our shape. Let's go down and trim it on the trim saw, then we'll grind it down to the lines on the cab machine. Okay, we're down on the 5-inch trim saw that I like so much. We're gonna plug it in. Got my piece here, gonna start trimming it out. Now you see how this stuff here busted off? I don't know if this is not solid, so try not to let your cab drift into this territory. Neither does this stuff here. Yeah, I got to unplug it and plug it in because the switch went out. You notice I'm not wearing gloves. I always try to wear gloves because this water's kind of stinky because I don't change it as often as I should. But there we go. We'll grind the rest of it off on the cab machine. All right, we got it marked. Now we're going to grind down to the line. All right, that's all the closer I'm going to get because they're starting to chip along the edges there, and I don't want to chip into my line. All right, that's where we're at with that. Man, that was a chore. This stuff is really hard. Now I'm going to hit it on the 280 and then polish the edge on the 600. Okay, let's take it upstairs and put a dop on it. Okay, we're all dopped up here. Yeah, let's see if we can put a grind on this. Now I'll start by putting a girdle on it, about a 3/16, 2 millimeter, and then we'll start 45 in the top edge here. And then when that looks good, then we'll start doming the top. So let's get started. First we'll start with our 80 grit, 220, 280 to get it polished, kind of pre-polished, and then we'll go ahead and finish polishing. Okay, I'm happy with the girdle on this. I got a nice 45 going here. I'm going to try to put a little 45 on this top edge here, and then we'll start doming it. Okay, I'm pleased with the shape. I like the height of the dome. So now I'm going to go into 220. Now, when I was on the 80 grit, I wasn't really bearing down. It's kind of light to moderate pressure, letting the wheel do the work. If you bear down too hard, like I mentioned upstairs, you're going to get some nasty deep scratches in there you won't be able to get out with the rest of the wheels. Okay, I think I got all the scratches out. I don't see any. I broke the edges, kind of rounded the points a little bit. Now we're going to polish it. Now that's just on the 3000 grit. We already got a beautiful shine here, so I'm going to put it on the cerium oxide, and hopefully we can ratchet this up just a tiny bit. have it. We're going to take it upstairs, throw the dot in the freezer. Hopefully the stone will fall off without a lot of fuss, and we'll take a closer look at it. Okay, we got done with the cabochon. I got it out of the freezer. It kind of came off. Half the wax stayed on, half the wax stayed on the stick, so I had to do a little scraping. So this wasn't a super easy one, but it could have been a lot worse. So here's my Mexican Crazy Lace cabochon. Let's take a closer look at it. So here's the Mexican Crazy Lace cabochon. Got a really good shine on it. The harder rocks shine really nice, but if you were to sit there and watch me grind on this thing without me editing this video, you would be bored to tears, because it takes a long time to grind these things down because they're so hard. But the results just speaks for itself. I broke the edges. I've smoothed out the backside. I don't polish it. And then this one will just get a bezel. A bail. I keep getting those two B words mixed up all the time. So I'm probably going to orient it like this and put the bail on. So let's take a closer look at this. The design is exquisite, I think. Got a couple eyes there, some nice fortifications, some clear. You can see some bitoroidals in there, kind of, in the chalcedony, the clear stuff. I don't know. I think it's all around good piece, no detectable fractures that I can see anyways. So let's put a bail on this. So I use E6000. I like it because it holds really well. And the other thing I like about it is it don't get hard like epoxy or super glue. It kind of stays soft. So if you don't like your bezel, or if it falls off, you can buy some more and reapply it and put it right back on there. So you get her all centered up here best I can. It looks pretty good. So there you have it. Mexican Crazy Lace Agate Cabochon. I'll have this cabochon will be in my Etsy store. The link is down below in the description if you're interested in it. So we went through the steps to make this Mexican Crazy Lace cabochon the way I do it. And I hope you enjoyed watching me make this cabochon. So if you're really interested in my videos, I'd appreciate you if you would subscribe. It's free and it helps me out a lot. And give me a thumbs up because it helps the analytics get it out there so more people can see these. I bought this at the rock shop in Keystone, South Dakota. I'll put a link to that in the description below in case anybody's interested in looking at what they got out there. Other than that, that's all I got. I really appreciate you watching, and thanks for subscribing, all my subscribers out there, and especially the one that recommended that I do an agate. So here you go, I did an agate. So next week, I got a piece of unakite we found on the beach along the Lake Superior, and we're going to make a cabochon out of this. So thanks for watching. That's all I got for today. We'll catch you later.